because you said
But I'm just saying,
you were
like,
having a presence.
I'm appearance.
Do you see the difference that it might be more beneficial for you to be in a school zone than hanging out in Spirit Halloween? You don't see? I don't, are you messing with me or you really don't see? Unbelievable. Dude, wow. On a recent Monday afternoon, just before 3 p.m., I went into the Spirit Halloween store in Orange City, Florida. Before I went in, I noticed an Orange City police car parked in the parking lot out front. Once inside, I saw Officer Bernice Martell, who is a detective, but she works as a road officer a lot because they're short-handed. We'll get into that shortly. While she seemed to be hanging out with a young adult male in the store, she's in full uniform, I decided to covertly document her presence and try to not make myself known, not right away anyway. And I thought at first maybe this male is an employee, maybe he's reporting something. They're in an aisle, he's messing with some products, and he's dropping a lot of F-bombs and some S-bombs, and there's little kids around, so I'm thinking it must be an employee. I quickly learned he was not, and this is someone, I don't know if it's a friend or family member of hers, whatever, but he's trying on costumes and they're just hanging out. They're talking, they're laughing, she's taking videos or photos of him, and I didn't know how long she had been there before I got here, but this went on for quite some time and she wasn't even noticing me. So she can't even claim that she was providing some sort of visibility or something like that to a business because she was oblivious to anything else around her. I know this because if she saw me the second she did, she would get the hell out of there, which is what happened as soon as I came out into the open to show her that I was here. But I acted like I didn't notice her, hoping she'd think nothing of it. Now, my big issue with this is the time of day. It was about 2:50, now it's about 3:30. This is the time that schools are letting out. And at this department, if you're not on an active call for service, you are required to be in a school zone. Logic says that. But keep watching because later, on another day, I'm going to confront her about this. Her response was mind-blowing and may leave some completely speechless. It's a fun place to walk around.
Yeah. Sitting in the car all day is not good.
Yeah, I know, especially in the rain.
This is a costume. It's a
Nah,
costume.
she's lying to you. She's lying to you. The gun's fake.
Yeah, it's fake. I wish. There you go.
So right after I let her see me, I decided to leave. And I stopped recording, but she decided to leave too. And she slinked around the edge of the store and actually met me at the door and knocked things off the shelf. And immediately, without me saying a word, she says, I'm just stretching my legs for a minute. Which, why would she offer that information to me? We're at the Orange City Police Department. I want to check on the times of their school zones and how officers are supposed to treat school zones, things like that. We just found an officer kind of hanging out for an extended period of time, goofing off in a local store during the time that I believe the school zones are active and officers should be in these school zones, but we want to confirm that. So let's come in, ask a couple questions. I got a couple questions. Yeah, probably a couple questions. You're actually probably better to ask. The school zones in Orange City?
What?
The school zones? Yeah. Orange City school zones? What times are those active? Daytime, afternoon ones.
Oh, afternoon?
Afternoon.
Afterwards?
Yeah, like after school zones, yeah. School's out. Roughly. Like if you were sent to school zones, what times would they?
So generally, 7:30 is when we go up there to the school zones.
In the morning.
Correct, for like the elementary schools.
Yeah.
Middle school and all that stuff. So.
What about afternoon ones?
Afternoon, it's generally around 2-ish, 2:30, somewhere around there.
Is there anything at 3 at all? Or are they all done at 3?
We're still there usually.
Okay.
You know, calls depending of
Right.
depending on what's going on. But yeah, that's the way it's supposed to. If we don't have any pertinent calls going on, then that's where we're supposed to be.
If there's no calls, we're supposed to be in the school zones. That's kind of what I thought.
That is where we're supposed to be.
That's what I figured. Most agencies were like that. If you're available and it's school zone time, get your ass in the school zone. Just one last follow-up question for that. For the school zones, by 3:30 p.m., are they wrapped up for the day? Or is there still something beyond that?
Usually calls, pending, depending. They might stay over in the area by the middle school.
The middle. Oh, okay.
Because generally,
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about the middle school because they get out at what, 3:30?
yes.
Okay, so it would be
about after the middle school. By 4 o'clock, they're all
4 o'clock. We're done with school zones.
They're all done.
Yeah. Okay. I have since spoken to others in the department, and they say it's a pretty strict thing that if you're not on an active call, you need to be in a school zone. And come on, it's common sense. Protecting our kids comes above anything. Well, it's common sense to most of us anyway. I also pulled her daily activity for that day as public record, and I found that she put herself on an EP, or an extra patrol, in the plaza where Spirit Halloween is. This is from 2:43 until she spotted me to 3:39, so just shy of an hour. On the computer, it's supposed to look like she's patrolling the entire plaza. She's providing a service, when in reality, she's hanging out inside one store, oblivious to anything around her. And we're going to talk to her in a second, you'll see. Others that work with her have since told me that she does this all the time. If she's working on the road, she puts herself on these EPs, but spends hours hanging out inside stores. And after looking at just a few days of her history, that seems true. But let's talk to her. Hopefully just a conversation will help her see the importance of being in the school zone. And see for yourself that she essentially says that she's above that. I just can't make this stuff up. Yeah, I just wanted to ask you, that day of the Spirit Halloween, were you on a call there or?
No.
You weren't on a call?
I was just walking around.
Just walking around? Were you there for long? You didn't leave because of me, did you?
No.
You had a call or something?
No, I didn't have a call. I just left.
Oh, okay.
I walked around a couple of stores, and that was just one. I was just talking to everybody there.
Yeah.
Walking around.
I was just curious because that was during the time of the school zones and all that stuff.
Oh, so you're saying, well, I'm technically detective. I was just helping on the road.
But you were working patrol that day. You were looking Charlie 81, right?
Yep.
So that day you weren't a detective. You were working the road.
Right.
And at that time, that's during active school zones and stuff, right? So at that time, I don't know. I'll say it bothered me a little bit. I don't care what you do, right? You do you, whatever. Some people are going to have an issue regardless because you're in the
I could be in the school zone and I could be not paying attention. Someone's always going to complain about something. I don't think I've never.
But do you see the difference between having a presence in an active school zone and hanging out in Spirit Halloween? Mm-hmm. I mean, do you see the difference there?
Are you stupid or something?
You don't see there's a difference.
Because either I could be having an appearance at the school zone or I could have an appearance with the public. Either way, I'm still having an appearance.
Right. How long did it take you to realize I was in Spirit Halloween?
I don't even know.
How long do you guess I was in there?
I have no idea.
40 minutes.
Okay.
So, did you know I was in there for 40 minutes?
No, I didn't.
So, you weren't really having much of a presence in that store, more than you were hanging out in the store.
I can't look at everybody and know everybody that's in there.
Well, I'm just going by what you just said,
Yeah.
because you said
But I'm just saying,
you were
like,
having a presence.
I'm appearance. You see me, you're going to notice me before I notice you, right? Because I'm in a full uniform.
You didn't
right?
notice. You know what? You didn't notice me until I brought myself out into the open, so you would see me. That's when you saw me. But no, I'm just going by what you said because you said you're making.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If I'm out with the public, that's what I'm saying. If I'm out with the public, what does it matter? If I'm out with the public in a store, I'm out with the public with you now, or I'm out with the public.
Well, because nobody sees you, so the people that might be speeding through a school zone, they're going to stop when they see a police car. They're going to slow down when they see a police car sitting there. But if they're speeding through the school zone and they're like, you know what, there might be a cop over at Spirit Halloween on the other end of the city, hanging out, looking at costumes and stuff, so I better slow down in the school zone. Do you see how that won't make them slow down in the school zone? You don't see? Are you messing with me or you really don't see? I'm not being an ass here. I'm genuinely asking that question.
It is, but I'm in an unmarked. So if I'm at a school zone in an unmarked vehicle.
Does your unmarked have red and blue lights in it?
Yeah, but we don't put them on when we're in school zone.
You don't?
I don't. Not everybody puts them on.
But you could.
Yeah, I could. But the question is, do I? And I don't.
Do you think it would be effective if you sat in a school zone with your blue lights on?
We could agree to disagree.
Well, I'm just asking.
I know, we could agree to disagree.
I'm just asking. Hey, you might not want to be involved. If I could just ask you, do you think it's an effective strategy to turn blue lights on in the school zone? Hey, no, listen, I'm serious.
Yeah.
The school zone, are patrol units generally directed to be in an active school zone if the school zones are active if you're not on a call for service?
Sometimes. Have a good one.
So you don't think school zones are important? Being in there?
I It's important everywhere, but we're so many people that could be so many places at
But
so many times.
do you see how hanging
good
out in
day.
Spirit
Bye,
Halloween
yeah.
doesn't serve the public? Unbelievable. Dude, wow. Absolutely unbelievable. So I went right inside to see if I could talk to a captain or a lieutenant. Captain Ward came out, and I wanted to let them know because I don't use the word flabbergasted like ever. But Martell, well, she left me flabbergasted, and she seems to be full of flabbergast. Hey, if she can say I'm appearanced, I can say that. Her claims that they don't sit in the school zones, or they don't do it with red and blue lights on, is just silly. She did clarify that, well, she doesn't do that. Here we see others with the Orange City Police Department sitting in school zones with their blue lights on in an attempt to create safety, and they were doing this at the same times but on different days. Different days but the same times that Bernice Martell was in Spirit Halloween for almost an hour, joking around, in her words. But she also said she was walking around talking to everyone, which definitely wasn't the case. She said she walked around to other stores, also not the case. She parked at Spirit Halloween, went into Spirit Halloween, saw me, and then left Spirit Halloween. I let them know how she doesn't seem to understand, literally even says she doesn't understand, how being in a school zone could create safety for kids. But as she said, what's the difference if she's in the school zone not paying any attention? Well, to that I agree. These, I think, are red flags. I took that as she's saying if she was in the school zone, she'd just be paying no attention anyway. So she might as well be hanging out in Spirit Halloween. Go in the comments and let me know what you think of everything she said. There's more coming. Hold on a minute. But I passed this all on to Captain Ward. He did make some potential excuses for her to say there could be reasons for some of this stuff, which we know is complete nonsense. And he did say he was going to send an email out to everyone, reminding them of very common sense things. And he did. Through public records, I obtained this email, telling them it's important to be in the school zones, but he should have added, also, like, try to pay attention. Don't be playing on your phone or whatever it is that Martell is indicating that she's doing that keeps her from paying attention to the school zone.
So there's a lull. I don't remember the times, but there's a lull between like elementary and middle and high school. There's a little lull.
Yeah, I understand. I asked her, she's messing with me because I don't know how she'd understand it. How being in a school zone would be more effective than hanging out for an hour in Spirit Halloween. No, she doesn't understand it. Because what's the difference? I'm in the public making a presence. And she genuinely doesn't understand why it's important to have a presence in the school zones. She literally thinks it makes no difference to the safety of kids or the community in general, whether she's hanging out in Spirit Halloween or being in an active school zone.
So it's all depending on the circumstances. And I'm not saying there is or isn't, but say it's at Kohl's or Walmart or whatever, and we're having a theft time. So there's all kind of reasons why you would do something. Generally,
that could be.
Hold on. Generally, just so this is official. Generally, most of all my units are always on the school zones.
Yeah,
generally.
I know.
And sometimes they're not, and most of the time they might have got approval for to go to vacate a school zone on a particular day.
Right.
Long as it's not an ongoing situation where I got an officer not going to the school zones, which I'm going to find out with the sergeant, because I'm going to send an email out as a reminder. If the school zones are going on, unless there's a specific reason, you should be in the school zones.
She
I gotta get back to my
seems
training.
to have the mentality that when she's working on the road, she doesn't have to do this stuff because she's not an officer, she's a detective.
No, I'll make
She
sure.
literally told me that.
I'll make sure that she understands when she's on patrol, she's patrol.
But let's be real, I know you're not going to admit it. She was goofing off hanging out. She should have been in the school zone. She wasn't. I know you can make the reasons like, sometimes you make an extra presence in this plaza. That is absolutely not what she was doing. There is just no cop explanation that can justify what we saw and heard from Martell. And hey, just a direct message to the road officers of the Orange City Police Department. Martell seems to feel above you. She doesn't have to do such trivial things as try to keep kids safe like you do. Because she's a detective. And apparently even when she's not. But I ran into her again a couple days after that, and by that time I had been told by some of her coworkers she does this a lot. So I want to ask her about that, and maybe she had some time to think about what I said before. And let's see how that went. Hey. Where'd she go? Oh, I thought she snuck away.
No.
How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good, I haven't seen you in a while. Your name hasn't come into my email for a while. That's a good thing. Hey, Martell, though. Some people that you work with say that you spend a lot of time in stores, like a lot of time in stores. Do you like, is patrolling in stores? Do you think that's doing the city like good, especially like I said during school zones?
Like I said, we could agree to disagree.
So you don't think a presence in a school zone is important to children's safety?
Never said that.
But you said it was the same thing as you hanging out in a store like Spirit Halloween. And I don't know, all those bags she just came. What was that? Anyway, I didn't think of that. I was so zoned in on trying to say words because I knew she was going to flee, because that's what they do when they're backed into a corner. They flee. But yeah, were those shopping bags? I don't know. I have to play the video back. If they literally just went out shopping, and that's the topic I'm talking about. You didn't just go shopping, did you, Martell? Seriously, you don't think it's important to be in a school zone instead of hanging out in Spirit Halloween? Everybody else does. She didn't just go shopping, did she? How come some people are happy to talk if it's about like a happy topic, but if it's about something pressing, nope, everybody zips up. You too, you talk to me when it's pleasant, but when it's hot or heated, nobody wants to talk. Everybody just say, don't say a word, just get away. Well, it's because people don't want to make themselves look bad instead of just be real. People respect real.